Hello and welcome to Quinfall. So this is a one-take video. I'm going to try doing this in one take. Please bear with me. There may be a few hiccups. I just want to get this video out to you guys as quickly as possible. The game released today at 2 p.m. and I've been playing for about 6 hours now. And I've had a lot of fun. On and off 6 hours, not the whole time. I had to have dinner and stuff in between. But I'm going to take you through Quinfall and what I think of it. Hey guys, I just wanted to pause real quick, just jump in here with me. I just wanted to say super quickly, upon watching back this video, feel that there might be a little bit of controversy. Some people might say stuff like I didn't cover everything, I don't know enough about the game to talk about it. I completely agree. I don't know enough to talk about it. The idea of this video is just to throw out kind of a 20-minute video to talk you through what's going on, what my thoughts are, what I felt in the first 6 hours. It's kind of not for the veterans, it's for the new people, just to get a vibe. There's some stuff I didn't touch on, the PvP elements. There's a whole arena system that I missed out on. I didn't really show any combat, like proper combat. So like this video isn't perfect. I'm not pretending it is. I just wanted to jump in before we start the video and just say, like, don't slate me, don't come for me. I'm just trying to create MMORPG content. I'm just new to this. I wanted to do it in a one take and rush through it. It's not even scripted, it's completely off the bat. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, just bear with me, please. Thank you. So first thing, so far, there's not a huge player base. There's about 4,000 concurrent players online right now. And obviously the game's just dropped in 1.0 today, so that's really low, but still, 3 servers. I think it feels really impactful to have so few servers right now, because the servers feel alive, they feel busy, they feel fun. If we head over to Europe and we have a little look, at the moment there's 4 channels, as we can see. And the way this works is, as long as you're in the European server, you can hop between any one of these channels at any one time. They have their own benefits, they have their own buffs, but I guess the reality is that if you want to speed run and get loads of XP, you're going to want to go on the PvP server. But you're also running this risk of free PvP/PK outside the towns. And that's something that I wasn't really ready to deal with from the get-go. Because you spend a lot of your time outside the towns, and there's a lot of people in the starting zones. So I felt these 2 PvE servers to start with have been super relevant. So once you join a server, or a channel, your next step is character customization. So as you can see here, I've already reached level 25 on this guy, and he's pretty cool. He's bright red, he's got these cool face tattoos. If I had no armor on, he's got full body tattoos as well. And you can see here, this is him. So this is my character in all his glory, with all his tattoos. You've got all these different things that you can customize. So you've got different shapes, different genders. Well, female, male, really. Not different genders. You can see presets, armor presets, to see how he would look or she would look. You've got different poses to get an idea of the pose. You've got different lightings to see how they look at different times throughout the day. And they're just the basics, really. I think they're just the standard. But this is the things that I really like, is all of these tattoos I implemented myself, apart from this section here, which comes as part of the preset, as you can see. And you've got all of these, so you can change the body, you can change the bone structure, so you can shrink stuff, you can make it bigger. All you do is click on a point, and then you kind of you change it how you want. So I can give him bigger shoulders, wider shoulders. I quite like that. I think that's a really cool system. You've got loads of different options to change, loads of different eyes, patterns you can add in, and you can change where they go, what colors they are, the positioning on the body. There's 2 that are only for the head, and then 2 that are completely movable. You got tattoos. I didn't really like this section of tattoos personally, but I really liked the kind of the black and white tattoos. You can change those colors as well, so they're really cool. Loads, a fair amount of hairstyles. I wouldn't say they're customizable, but that's quite standard in a kind of a smaller game. Got your scars, got your beards, Got your body hair. I didn't really like the body hair. I felt it created some weird toning. The bit that really lets down the character customization, though, is the voice. They've clearly used like an AI voiceover system. So if we go onto here, and we've...
Hi, this is the voice I'm gonna use. That's the voice you'll hear me use throughout our adventure. Hi, this is the voice I'm gonna use.
It's just...
That's
yeah,
the voice.
just sounds like the TikTok voiceover system. So yeah, not the best. We'll jump in and I'll show you around the game. So the game is, I think, is actually really fun. There are some frustrating things. There's some really fun things. There's a lot of confusion. This game is not for the weak. I loaded in, and at the beginning is amazing. It really shows you what to do, where to go. You follow like a set quest line, and then there's like mini quests off the side of that, and I really enjoyed that. This bit's really weird. You always load in facing your character. So basically, the first thing you have to get used to is you're in this action combat like this. But if you want to do anything, you leave it pressing control, and then you can choose game options. Maybe we want to bring the sounds down a little bit. They might be a bit loud. You've got all your standard stuff, standard options, displays, the works basically. Then if we go as usual, if we just press a nice tab, we've got loads of stuff to look at here. Absolutely loads. This bottom half's just your standard social stuff, bits and bobs. The events is really cool. I really have enjoyed events. But you've got all of your customization. So you've got your character. You can fully customize your strength, defense, whatever you want to do, however you want to play. And that's based on your skills. And so you have basically your character is you can do what you want with them. And your skills and your build is based on the weapon that you choose. So dual dagger, warhammer, bow, etc. So if you choose life, you could go down kind of being a healer. You could be a summoner. You've got your mage styles. You've got your different ranger classes. You've got kind of like a paladin slash support class with the warhammer. So this one is all about like buffing, and this one's quite like heavy damage. You've got your kind of roguelikes. You've got your warriors. Not really sure. I haven't looked into this one at all. But you've got a spear class. You got your two-hander, and then you got your tank style. I feel that you've got within this PvP and PvE subclasses. It's when you start reading down the spells. A good example of this is the Vanguard. This tank style is, especially the Vanguard style, is very like stun heavy, whereas this Iron Warden is very like buff heavy. So I would say that this is definitely way more like single target PvE, whereas this is definitely more like AoE PvE or very built towards PvP. So there's a lot of customization. One of the things I really love is there's only 6 spells, so you're not getting bogged down with spells. You have your 6 spells and that's it. And then you can buff them further with little buffs like stones. You can increase their level, and that adds extra damage by upgrading. So here I can upgrade. I don't have the book, but you can upgrade. Anyway, moving on, because we're going to keep this nice and short. You've got your life skills, and your life skills is your basic gathering, processing, crafting, and then you've got some other ones like caravan running, property, treasure hunting, and they all give you buffs. So you can see you've got buffs here. You've got information. When you're mining, it tells you what level you are, and then it tells you what you can mine at that level. So information overload, and I love it. I love that aspect about the game. If you want to do something, it's here. And the main quest line will take you through some of this stuff. It will teach you about the gathering. I haven't got anything to talk to me about processing or crafting at the moment. Maybe that's to come. I am level 25. I've done about 6 hours. It took me about 2 hours to getting to learn the gathering stuff in itself. So I had to do about 2 hours of gameplay before I even got here. So that was another factor to be considering. Inventory is an interesting one. When you first start, there's loads of unlockables, and you have this huge inventory. One of my pet peeves of the game right now, and I'm obviously brand new to it, and people might correct me and say, no, you're wrong, is just the sheer volume of items that are given to you. This is like 10 minutes of like grinding, and it's just like maybe 20 minutes of grinding. It's just there's so many items, and it's like they can be quite vague. It's like can be obtained from creatures used for horse breeding. Like that's fine, that one. But there are items where you read them and you're just like, I have no idea what this means. A great example of this for me was on the skills. It was like you have to put one of these on, and I was like, okay. One of the quests is to put on a booster, and I was like, that can't be that hard. And it took me ages to figure out that they go in here. So there are aspects of the game that you are taught really clearly what to do, and there are aspects of the game where you have no idea what you're doing. Some of the features that I really enjoy is there's a fast travel feature. So if you get on your mount, you can basically fast travel, and I don't mean fast travel like teleport. There is a teleport, but you can basically auto run. So now my hands are off the keyboard, I'm not doing anything. It's auto running me to a location on the main road, and I think that's great. Like a lot of the time there'll be like a quest like go to this rift zone, and you can just click on there, auto run. It tells you you've got 1 minute and you'll get there. I love that feature. I think it's a really fun feature. You also have fast traveling, and I think fast traveling is in this sort of world. The world is big in a sense. I wouldn't say it's massive, but when you implement fast travel, like it doesn't feel big at all anymore. So I can go back to this town, I can fast travel. It costs some money, but it isn't really that much money. That's like killing a few mobs, 11,000. So really there isn't a negative cost on fast traveling. I think that some of the sounds, as you can hear when you're listening, the ambient sounds of the game are a little irritating. I've turned them down. If you turn them off, I feel like it kind of kills the vibe of the game as well. So that hasn't been my favorite aspect so far. When you're in a town, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise, and if you're a streamer like myself, that can get quite intense, and you find yourself constantly readjusting sound volumes. So if we just stand here for a second, you can hear it. You'll hear horses like making noise and people casting spells, and that can be a negative and a positive. One of my favorite things right now is this is the starting town, and look at this. Like, the game feels alive. The graphics, they're okay. I'm running them a bit lower because I was having a lot of FPS issues. But I like this aspect. The town feels alive. There's people around. That's really cool. There's loads of vendors. They all have different things they do. There's loads of... There's just so much you can do. It's crazy. Like, I think it's quite an in-depth game, really, considering. One of the things that I really, really want to touch on and stress about, though, and I've said this, is just item volume. If I can find the bank, let's call it the bank. It's not called the bank, it's called the deposit box or something. But like, I don't know what to do with all of this stuff. So if we go in here, just hundreds of items I've collected in 6 hours, and I have no idea what any of them do. Like, they might and they're like, there's like legendaries. I've got loads of legendaries. So like, if I've got that many, then they don't feel very rare. There's loads of rare, which is like your second highest tier. And I'm super confused, because it's just like, there is so much in this game. So that's kind of like touching on some of the basic aspects of the game. There's dungeons. I don't like dungeons. There's no party finder. You can't just enter a dungeon with a party. You have to make a party. So you have to have a group of people. So there's no way of just doing a dungeon with people. However, you do have your individual dungeons, which you run by yourself. I've done 2 of these already. I've done the Flaming Catacombs and the Quiet Chambers. They're fun. They're easy. But one of the problems with them is they are mazes. Like, they are so confusing. It's a complete maze. You just get lost. Like, you get completely lost in them. I spent 40 minutes running round 1 because I didn't feel I completed all the objectives. Once I completed the objective, I felt like it didn't feel very rewarding at the end. I killed the boss, got some items, and that was it. And I was like, okay, didn't really feel very rewarding. Other things you've got here, you've got pets. I really like the pet system, and they give you a pet skin. So they give you this bee, but I didn't like the bee, but you get a pet straight off the bat. And the pet picks up loot for you, which is great. So when you run over loot, it picks up loot for you. Mounts, I haven't figured this out if there's any other mounts. I haven't seen any other mounts. The only mount I've seen is the horse. Everyone's just riding a horse at the moment, so I can't talk much on that. There's farming, there's housing, there's clans. The clans is quite expensive at the get-go to get into, so there's not loads at the moment. But yeah, there's different factors. There's ratings, so you could have a PvP rating, a PvE rating. So you could say who's the highest guild level, who's got the most members, what's the highest PvP, who's got the highest PvE. And, you know, I don't know if you can just join a guild. I'm not interested right now. But yeah, that's another aspect to the game, which is pretty cool. Obviously, always in an MMORPG you have that, but I think being able to have leaderboards for your guild, that's going to keep people interested and create, like, rifts. And there's other aspects, like altars and building. This, no idea. It's something to do with, you can claim an area, like this area here, land K6, and you can build an altar, and then your clan can move in, and you can engage in farming and animals and buildings. And so I'm guessing there's going to be clan settlements, which sounds really, really cool. Like, I would love to get involved in that. And then that opens up other stuff like workers, and you can hire workers to do jobs for you, I'm guessing. I'm not really sure. One of the things that people have mentioned, and I've seen this in other videos, is this might be a slight issue. So we got a lot of costume stuff, right? Which is fine. Everyone loves a costume. Like, and I love that. If it was all just costume. It has been some suggestion, and I don't know if it's still in, that there is somewhere where there is some pay-to-win elements. I don't know anything about them. I believe it's these, and so you can pay for these, and you get benefits, like you get more XP in professions or more XP while leveling. So there's boost buyers, I guess. Like you can boost your character in certain ways. Other than that, I haven't seen, it doesn't look like there's like any gear buying or anything like that. So there's some really nice costume elements, and I think people would definitely, if they played the game long enough, start like buying these, because they look awesome. Like there's some really cool, like you can go customizable, you can get some really cool mounts. You do gather these. I think you get given these at the beginning. The price, I'd say, is fair. Like, you can get a few items, like 600, 500, you know, so that's pretty cool. These trading currencies, the more you play the game, you know, you can unlock stuff. So there's loads of aspects to this game. It's a really deep and rich game, and I think there's a lot to it. There's quite a large, I believe, large amount of towns around the map. I don't have any idea about any of it because it's all brand new. I've never played the game before. So that's kind of the game. It feels cool. It's a cool game to play. Combat's is a bit janky. It's not, I wouldn't say, the smoothest. So for instance, this is your action combat here. You got your normal attack, you got your block. You got spells, but they just feel sometimes like they don't work. Like other times they feel like they work. I don't know why I'm only doing 10 damage, but not the point. There's a heavy focus on potions. So using potions. So that's something I'm not used to. But one of my favorite things with using potions in this game, okay, there's a huge emphasis on it. But when you play another game, if you use a health potion, you can't use another potion. But in this, you can use your mana potion. So you can see here, you know, there's a heavy emphasis on using potions. And you're not penalized. And they stack and they tier up. And so I've got 75 potions. I've just been given those as I play. And that's been quite chill. There's just so much. The world is massive. I don't know what it feels like to run around for ages and capture stuff, but you know, mining and woodcutting, it's I'm not sure, to be honest. this one element I find quite frustrating. Certain mobs will run away from you, making it quite hard to see. Look, just makes it hard just to go like to do the basics as a melee. So range would be more beneficial in this situation. So I think there must be play styles as well. I think overall for £8.50, because I'm from the UK, this game is great. Like, I am enjoying myself for £8.50. I cannot complain. There's a lot to do. I've literally sunk in 6 hours. I'm ready to go back and sink in another 6 more. So I can't complain. I can't complain about that. The things I can complain about, dungeons. I don't like dungeons. I find them really irritating. You suffer for no reason. Go through them as a solo. They're long-winded. They're like 25-30 minutes. There's a lot of little mini objectives, and they feel you end up searching for those mini objectives and getting lost in mazes. I don't know why they made the maze like. I think it was just a bit pointless. The central markets at the moment, I'm not sure if I like or dislike those. The stores, that could be quite controversial later down the line. We'll have to wait and see. There's world boss statuses, so there will be world bosses up, which I think is quite cool. Zenith Conquest, not sure. This is like a PvP, PvE thing that you can enter. Have no idea. Again, there's a lot here that will be later on down the line. Olympiad Wars. This is some pretty cool PvP tournament style, I believe. It talks about how you basically battle people each day, and then eventually, you go down the rewards. So there's quite cool stuff actually to win. So there's money involved, and so I think that's quite cool, showing off the PvP style. Would I recommend buying this game? Yeah, with a hint of a caveat there of yeah. I think if you're okay with a game that doesn't feel 100% complete, or the style just feels a bit different, then yes, I would be buying this game. I think one of the things to remember here is that the team that have made this, it's basically one core developer, I've read, and then some outsourced development, so a team of around 6. So it's a fair size. Like, it's a very fair size map, fair size game. A lot going on for such a small team. And I think they've done really well. Like, I really like the style. I'm going to play it for a while. It's scratching an itch that I needed fulfilling. I didn't want to go back to games like World of Warcraft or, Guild Wars 2. So I was looking for something different. And I think this kind of does it. So I hope this kind of review just helps you guys just to get a quick snapshot of whether the game's worth playing or not, whether it's got stuff for you or not. Give me a like, give me a follow, and let me know if you want to see any more content.